glasses off. They're like glaring.
I mean, I don't know. But it's up to you. Whatever. Hey, there's the cops. They're probably like, what are they doing?
Do I look okay without my glasses? What?
Yes, you wear contacts sometimes and look fine.
Oh, that's reassuring. I'm just kidding.
Hi.
Oh, did it start?
Oh yeah, I started. It's 35 seconds now.
Are you gonna edit this out, or are you just
Nope.
gonna keep it?
Just
Oh
keep
gosh. So can't see you, but hey, literally.
It's been a long day. It's been a long trip. Okay, so we're in Texas. So remember, they're not seeing the vlog yet. They're seeing this video first.
Oh
So
yeah,
anything-
you're right.
Everything we have filmed in the vlog is not yet known to people watching this.
Get rated.
So we've been traveling. This is why she's like this. So we're in Texas. We came down for Emilee's friend's wedding, and we had some time, and we wanted to go ahead and film the Q&A video that we've been talking about now for weeks, maybe a month, maybe more. So we are out here on the balcony, so if you hear cars passing, whatever, that's why. But figured we'd go ahead and just jump into this and answer some of your guys' questions. Alright, so Amber asked, what is it like being a fairly, in quotations, new couple raising kids? I was married 5 years before kids. Is it hard? No.
It's oddly normal.
No. So, granted, we both knew going into this relationship that I was already a foster parent, but she also wanted to be a foster parent, and we both wanted to adopt. So, like, this is kind of like worked out probably the best way possible.
Oh, yeah.
Because we actually go for adoption on Wednesday. Like, is it 4 days? 5 days?
I don't even remember anymore. I think
Four.
four.
I think 4 days.
4. Tomorrow 3.
I'm starting to shiver. Should have brought a blanket out here. Texas is not warm. It's like the same temperature as Ohio right now. It's kind of disappointing. Anyway, so no, it's not hard. I mean, we don't get like date nights or anything like that, but like honestly, like
Doesn't really bother us.
no, like it's nice having this time alone. Like we we flew down to Texas, so we had like the whole day. We've been together all day today. Like we've been meeting people. Well, I've been meeting people. She's been meeting up with people.
Yeah.
Throughout the trip. But like we've still had like time just to talk and stuff, and it's been nice. But like I don't feel like us. Granted, our kids are our kids. Well, that's weird. Are 13, so like there's not like a huge like barrier. Like we can be pretty open with our dialogue around them.
Yeah.
It's not like we have to like be very, very careful what we say or like.
And there's 2 of them too, so half the time they don't even pay attention to us.
They entertain one another.
Yeah.
It makes it easy.
Yeah. No, I think that's like it's oddly normal. Is what I always like say when people ask that question, because like it hasn't like ever, even from like day one,
Right.
hasn't ever felt like odd or weird or uncomfortable. Like it's just been super normal, and like I think we've just kind of fell into it nicely.
I think even just for myself, even like before we got together and going into foster care, I thought like, how's this gonna feel? Like how's like all of a sudden having kids and like showing up places with kids, but it's. Because everyone's been super supportive too.
Yeah.
Like I've not had any backlash, any rude comments, nothing. Which, from what I hear, a lot of people in foster care get those, but we've not heard anything. Nothing but support, actually. It's like we have awesome friends and family, I guess, surrounding us that we just kind of right there with us in this process.
Yeah.
We took way too long to answer that one question. Mary just said, "Why are you guys so cute?"
We're totes adorbs. It just happens.
The day someone actually says that, you're gonna freak out.
I am. I'm trying to make it a thing, and he hates it, and it's great.
My cousin Charlie asked, "How old are you both?" So I'm 26. I am only 26.
I'm currently 24. To be 25 next month.
In a month, yeah.
Yeah.
Less than a month, actually.
Yeah, you're right.
So basically 26 or 25.
Yeah. Although he looks older and I look like I'm still in high school. It's fine.
Yeah. I told her when we were down here, like, you need to introduce me, but say, like, he's only 26. Because if not, this could look really bad. But anyway. Zach asked, who are you wifing up first, me or Emily? Well.
Sorry to Zach. I got the ring.
Oh yeah, we're engaged.
Oh yeah, we are. If you didn't know, if you didn't see that on Facebook, there's a pretty ring here, and he did great.
So yeah, we're engaged. So, I mean, by the way that looks, probably her first Zach. I don't know.
Moving on.
So Clarissa asked, "When's the wedding, and can I be the flower girl?" I think we already told her that she could be the flower girl.
I think so. Actually, I watched a video the other day of this guy, like grown man, full suit, and he was the flower man, throwing the flowers down the aisle, and he did it so like gracefully, and he kind of did some leaps and like made sure all of the flowers was spread out, and it was hilarious. You go for it, Clarissa.
We'll have Zach do that.
Oh my gosh.
Your brother, Zach. Anyway, okay. Haley asked, "What do you really think about those wild young adults at Union Hill?"
This is pointed to me.
I mean, it's for me. I guess I was gonna try to think of a smart aleck answer, but I'll be honest. Like, it's been good. It's been great, actually. Like, getting connected into the church and having that like group of people that I'm comfortable with now. Because going to that church at first was very awkward for me. So now having like that group of people that I know on a personal level makes it a lot easier. I'll leave the sarcasm behind for that one for now. Haley again said, "Have you set a date? Can I work the queso fountain?" Okay, let's do this one by one.
Yeah, too many questions, Haley.
Slow down. Have you set a date?
Yes.
So we have, and we realize it's quick and it's soon.
Can I drum roll it? I don't know how to drum roll with my mouth. Why do you know how to do that?
It's not hard.
April 25th, 2020.
Yeah, so like 6 months.
Yeah, we
Like,
crazy. We know it's fine.
It's almost exactly 6 months.
Yeah.
But because, understand, like, there's already kids involved, and like we're already like together almost every single day anyway. So like, what's the point of like carrying it out farther?
Exactly.
It just makes things complicated at this point. So like, and like we're not having like some like big spectacular like
gonna take years to
jaw-dropping
plan.
wedding.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be nice, but like.
I think ours will be pretty great. I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah. Okay. So she also asked, "Can I work the queso fountain?" So.
I mean, sure.
Sure. We'll be there with you.
We're working on a queso fountain. I'm really trying. I'm really pushing. Fingers crossed.
For a taco, because we're doing like
a taco bar.
So another question is, Kayla asked, what are the details of the wedding? So, food-wise, taco bar.
Mm-hmm.
We both like Mexican food a lot.
Yes.
We wanted to do our wedding on Cinco de Mayo because that's my birthday, but it's on a Wednesday this year.
Yeah,
so,
that'd be a little awkward.
Next year. So we're just gonna do tacos and still have a celebration.
Yeah.
What do you picture for your life in the next 10 years? Listen.
14 children.
We don't know our life in like a week.
No. Probably craziness. Nothing
I
normal.
would say definitely something in ministry.
Oh yeah. Both of us have like a major heart for ministry, which is great.
Yes.
So that's always going to be like main priority.
I would say, so within that would be like teaching, ministering to people, leading people. I think for me specifically, youth ministry, but I think just ministry as a whole in a church. I also think music ministry to an extent, singing and stuff. Leadership of some kind. I don't know. But to sit here and tell you like our exact plans, like listen.
God only knows.
We got nothing. God changes things all the time.
We're going to be 23 in 10 years.
Please don't say that.
That makes me want to throw up.
Oh man.
No.
Okay, anyway.
Okay, moving on.
Will you video a duet? We've talked about it. It's just having time.
Yeah, I think the main thing is we just don't have time to do things.
Because literally as soon as we get back from Texas, we had to start moving, or I had to start moving rather, into a new house. And like, I don't really have room in that house to film.
Yeah.
So we'll figure something out.
Yeah. I mean, we literally sing together all the time in my living room. Well, not living room, computer room-ish area.
No one ever hears us usually.
My mom does.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so yes, eventually when we have time to sit down and do that. When are you joining the praise team? That's aimed toward me as well.
TBD.
Yeah.
To be determined.
When I am formally invited, when I'm inducted properly,
He has to be knighted.
By drinking the blood of past members. No. So I'm open to it. I am. I'll say this. Once I'm formally invited, have practices, and feel somewhat comfortable. I feel like that's reasonable.
I think so.
Who is going to be the one to get the minivan?
Me! I won't let him take the minivan. Are you crazy?
She wants the minivan.
I am so pumped for a van.
I'm not like completely opposed to minivan. I just like my SUVs a lot better. I've always liked SUVs, so I'm cool with a third row SUV.
I want a van. Like, I don't even really necessarily like want a minivan. I want one of those awesome vans that people drove in like what, the 80s, 90s? Like, those are legit. They're great.
She wants a van with a sink in it.
The back seats turn into a bed. Like, he's just not on board. I'm like slowly getting the boys to like get on board with it, and like eventually we're gonna win him over. But like in the meantime, I'll definitely settle.
So you guys can drive wherever you're going in the pedo van, and I'll be in my SUV. That's how that's gonna work.
Listen, when Damien asked if the what did he call it? Oh, it was a kidnapping van. Do you want to go take a nap in that van? Okay, you can move on.
So Leanne asked, I gotta give you some backstory to this. Leanne asked, I would like to know if you wish you had taken my advice on the proposal date.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
So I proposed on the 17th. Our 10-month anniversary was on the 15th of October. And Leanne's birthday was on the 15th. And so when I was telling people at work, because they knew I got the ring and stuff, so they asked me about a date. And I told them, like, when I finally decided what the date was, she demanded that I switch it to the 15th. And I said, listen, I already got her family coming over, my family coming over, like, we're not changing it. It's set in stone, it's done. So then, if you probably don't know this, I didn't post this anywhere. So the 15th passed, 16th morning, so the 16th, which was Wednesday, we're gonna go set up everything for the proposal, like the place and everything. Well, that morning I was rear-ended, pretty badly. It hurt really bad. My car is totaled. We're currently working on insurance and all that stuff for my car, but so the next day at work, because she thinks she's hilarious, she decided, do you wish you went with my date first now? And I'm like, no. So no, I'm good. I was not sore that day. God came through anyway, so
That's
we're good.
True. I was like amazed how much you could get around, and like you didn't hurt at all, because the day of his accident, like he could barely even get up. Like, I mean, he was moving around as long as he stayed moving, but like that night I was on the phone with him and he couldn't even get out of bed, and I was like really concerned.
It was bad. Like
so, I think we both just assumed that Thursday would come around, and
I won't say worst pain in my life, but it's definitely up there. I was probably hit at a good 45, 50 mile per hour. I mean, it was not just a casual, like, oh, your bumper's damaged. Like, my whole back of my car smashed in.
Yeah.
So I was really sore that night. I could have swore I was going to wake up the next morning and call the squad, honestly, with how much pain I was in. But I woke up, stood right up, went and got a shower, went to work. The only time like it hurt was like standing up or sitting down. That was it. I was good.
He was able to kneel down without any problem.
I was.
Great moment.
Moving on. Becky. Can we just get Becky? No. Becky said, is Becky your favorite person? Who are you talking to?
Debatable. JK.
Define favorite. I kind of like you sometimes.
You ain't.
Yay. She said, are there aliens on Mars?
Definitely.
Sure. Is that where you originate? Is that what you're trying to tell us? Like, I don't know. Who is going to be the responsible adult? Depends on the day.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, you're definitely like very responsible, but I feel like I'm pretty responsible too. But we both have our moments.
Yeah, like there are times like I just don't care, and it'll kind of, well, I can't even say that really.
I'm pretty much always care.
I'm very organized.
Oh yeah,
and I'm very particular, and I'm very like, I just plan things out better. But I think, and sometimes you're the more logical thinker, where I'm the more like visionary, like dream thinker. Like I see like big picture, like best case scenario, let's do this, and you're like,
let's look at the details.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But I think also we like even each other out, because sometimes like you're too logical in your thinking.
It's true.
So like I can like we kind of balance each other out on that, because like I can like kind of bring you back to like. I think it's a good balance.
Yeah, and like a lot of ways too, because he is like super organized and get things done like ridiculously early, and that's just not like in my mind. What are you doing? It's a month out, but like I'm a procrastinator, and I'm like can be messy, and we just
It's good balance.
Yeah, it really is. So I think like we're both responsible in our own ways and like help each other out.
What would be the best wedding gift? These are still Becky's questions, by the way. Best wedding gift? Money.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, honestly. I only say that because I've lived on my own since I was, younger. 21, 20, I don't know, somewhere around there. I'm 26 now. So, like, everything that, like, most people would need starting a marriage, I already have. Because I've had to get it. Like, I lived on my own. And also now, like, I've had 2 boys, so, like, even more so, if I needed it, I had to get it. So really now, it's, like, mostly it's probably money, and then there's probably some stuff that we might want to, like, upgrade or, like, change.
Things that we still need to, like, look at all that and everything.
Yeah, but like, I mean, everyone can always use, like, a good knife set and a good, like, cooking set, and, like,
we still have to look at stuff.
She's making us, oh my gosh, name 3 things you love most about each other.
Oh my goodness. How could I just choose 3?
I knew it was coming.
That was weird.
I got a compliment on my beard today, actually.
You did! From a guy wearing a Cinco de Mayo shirt.
It was God. No. It was at the restaurant we ate at. We were walking out, and he's like, I like your beard. It's sharp. That's all he said.
That's true.
Anyway.
You should have told me this question like beforehand.
Oh, you can't think of it?
No, there's just like I have to like I want like 3 like amazing ones.
Oh, I'm not
like,
thinking that
basic.
much. I like that. I think. Can I say? I don't want to do like. I'm gonna do us. Maybe not so much like. That sounds really like narcissistic.
Not you.
Not about you. About us.
Include me too.
Well, that's about. I think just that our main focus is God.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people say that like, oh, God's just, but like.
No,
truly
it's legit in our lives.
Like we pray about our decisions, we actually think things through biblically, like does this make
sense?
Point
each other back to God when like definitely need to refocus.
Yeah, like, and it's good because like, you know, like if we're freaking out, like have you prayed about this, have you read, you know, like we're good about that.
Yeah,
so that's one. There's a cat. Squirrel.
I can't see anything.
I think that we have a sense of humor.
Definitely.
And that way, like, I say that because month 2, they've probably heard about month 2 so much.
Oh my gosh.
Month 2 was like a true test. I think we were both trying to lay down some stubbornness and lay down pride.
And that was a big, like, tearing down walls month 2.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
we were both like very guarded.
It was just uncomfortable.
Yeah. So like now that like we can like, because used to she would snap at me and I'd get like take it like super personal and like, okay, well I'm just not gonna talk to you then.
Yeah, sure.
Like that actually happened during month 2 during one of our date nights. Like something that we've been excited for to do for a while, and like we did it, and like it was probably it was the worst day. It was the worst day.
Yeah, we can agree on that.
But like now she does that, and I'm like, okay, like geez, like bite my head, like we can just like joke about those things now, like and like be fine with it.
Yeah, we're not like super serious with each other, like all the time.
No.
And, like,
but I think when we need to be, we
need,
are.
yeah, definitely. But like we know when to make that transition.
Once again, like it's like that good balance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, Becky, you had to ask a really sentimental question.
Yeah.
I think just the fact that like, so like, before like I was already a licensed foster parent before meeting her. Well, not meeting her, but dating. Well, I was at the very last step of that process, and she knew that. But I think like just being like willing to like jump in on this, like, really with no, I mean, warning, but like, you said to jump in. And like then we got like twin boys that were 13 and like throwing parties and school stuff, and like she just jumped in and helped like every part of the way. So I said that's the third.
I think you answered the whole thing. I'm gonna answer stuff too.
Oh, go for it.
Okay. But you did like 2 about us. Do I do 2 about us? I'm just gonna like.
Sure.
Yeah, look at this beard. No. No, he's got a heart of gold. Like, who just takes in 2 13-year-olds? Nobody. But like.
Not any sane person ever.
But literally the man that God made for me did. Because that was one thing that like I prayed about. And I found my list the other day, by the way. A list of
Didn't know that was a thing
qualities
until now.
I wanted in a man. We did this like a couple years ago, and it was like based off of scripture. I honestly don't remember which scripture right now, but we like wrote down all of these different qualities that we wanted to find in a mate that weren't like physical or anything, like not just the like shallow stuff that people like would write down, but it's like stuff based off of these verses.
None of that.
Shut up. Yes, you do. What are you talking about? But, like, they were all, like, based off of these verses. And so, like, I wrote out all of these different things. Obviously, like, follows God and brings peace. And, like, there's just, like, a lot of them. And then I wrote down, like, a few extras that, like, I just personally wanted. And I really had a heart for adoption. God gave me that when I was in college. And to me, it was, like, it's going to be really hard to find a man who's going to be okay with this, because like that's a big deal. And like I didn't even have to be the one to like, hey, this is something that I want to do, and then like they have to get on board. It was like God literally sent me a man who was already in the process, and like his heart is just amazing, and he always is focused on God.
That was a good thing for me too, because like, you know, looking for like a girlfriend and that you potentially want to marry, like, are they gonna be okay with having kids in your home, or like, and you just taking kids, like, what if they're not okay with it? Like, am I willing to put that on the back burner? And I wasn't. So, yeah.
He also was just very patient with me, because, like, from the get-go, like, I had a lot of walls built up, because I'm, like, really, really great at, like, making me seem like I have everything together, and, like, I'm vulnerable just enough to, like, make you think, like, oh, wow, she's really open. But, like, nobody really ever pried at me enough to, like, really break down a lot of stuff until he came around, and like that caused a lot of the issues in month 2, was just like that initial like breaking down of walls and peeling back layers. And he's been so patient in that process of like me opening up, and like even still now, like there are things that like happen and I get guarded, and he knows it, and so he knows like the questions to ask, or just the time to just like be patient and listen. And like I know there was one night, like, he just, like, sat and listened to me when I cried, and I don't cry in front of anybody. And he was just, like, patient, and he was just, like, I'm just gonna sit here and listen to you, because, like, I don't need to say anything, you just need somebody to hear you. And, like, that meant a lot. So, you're a very patient man.
in some situations.
But you're also the person that I can literally, like, tell anything to, and laugh with, and, like, I don't know, it's just really nice to not feel like I have to like be anything that I'm not, because I think we're both just very comfortable with each other all the time.
Yeah. Thank you, Becky, for that wonderful question.
Okay, moving on.
Last one. Good thing, 'cause we're at like 23 minutes. Kayla said, wedding dates, your favorite date together. That's gonna be hard. We know our worst one. Okay, so it's wedding details. So I think we talk about food and date.
Food, date.
So I guess the only thing left is like decorations.
Yeah.
Well, I guess there's some cool stuff that we're planning on doing. Do we want to share all that?
I don't think so. I think we need to keep some stuff a surprise.
Okay, what do we want to share?
We'll just say like theme vintage.
But not like trashy vintage.
Yeah.
Not like 90s vintage.
No, like classy vintage.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything else I want to share yet.
Yeah.
I think we'll leave the rest to be a surprise.
Yeah. Favorite date together?
It's been so long since we've had like legit date nights. I'm just like even trying to like think of them.
I don't think, because like when I think of like favorite like things we've done together, it wasn't like necessarily a date.
Yeah.
Like our Tennessee trip was really good.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the Tennessee trip. Maybe that was because that was our last like legit date night before this weekend.
Well,
but
like this has been fun. Yeah, this has been fun so far.
Yeah, this has been a blast. I really liked the Tennessee trip though, because like the first night our moms watched The Boys, So we were able to have like dinner, just the two of us.
That was good because like that's the night we were able to discuss like, are we ready to move forward?
Yeah,
are we ready to actually pursue marriage and like.
That's what I was gonna say. That was really the turning point, I think, because we both like obviously were like very serious from the get-go, and like knew this was like our goal was marriage. But like up until that point, we hadn't really like talked about it in like on a serious tone.
Yeah, it could have been like joking, like, well, when we're married, or like.
Yeah, we did that a lot.
Very like passive things, but like to actually sit down and like.
So the first
like,
time we had a conversation, like.
Are we serious?
Yeah,
are we ready? Like.
Yeah. Yeah, and the food was really good. So we actually had like good conversation, had good food.
Awesome atmosphere.
Yes, the atmosphere was great.
Yeah.
So that was a really good night.
It was, for me, that trip was good because like I was with like my closest friend. But like too, like with our like with our moms, like it was just a good time to get to know each other better because like we spent a lot of time together, but like not like consecutively like that much time, like every day, every hour. So yeah. But other than that, I would say our first date.
Oh, I loved our first date.
It was the smoothest first date I've ever had.
Yeah, that was like seriously like a big sign. They were like, this is actually I think gonna.
We actually said that on the way home, like, this is the most smooth, unawkward date first date.
And we like talked like really in depth about stuff that like you don't really hit on the first date. But both of us was just
granted our first date was watching Instant Family about foster care and adoption.
Yes, and we both like knew that was like our hearts.
Yeah.
And that was a great date, and we ate Penn Station, so that was good.
We've not had it since then.
We haven't, and it's
love
so good. I don't know
why. And then she said, "What? This is another deep question that I
know this one. I read this question, and like I know the first thing that popped in my mind.
When was the moment you knew you wanted to marry the other? You can go first.
Okay, so this is really fun. Like it's not funny, but
I'm curious what your interest is gonna be.
Okay, because I think I've told you this before, but maybe not. This could be like news. So it was during, I think, month 2. This is how I know. Like, this is the man that like I'm supposed to marry. Because so it was, I think, Valentine's Day, and Valentine's Day was a bust for us. Like it was rough. Okay, it ended fine, but like it was bad.
Yeah.
It was so bad because.
It's so bad. I forgot about that. I think I repressed that memory.
It was awful. Because, so, like, we're not super gift people. And I think I am now, like, more than what you are. I don't know. Am I? I don't know. We're just not, like, big gift people because we don't really feel the need to, like...
I'm much more on sentiment and, like, memories and stuff like that.
Yeah. We like to do things together. Like, my love language is definitely quality time.
Yeah, I would much rather go spend a night out together than you spend $100 on me.
Exactly.
But I mean, like, thoughtful gifts.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're both, like, thoughtful gifts. Like,
like, I was thinking of you.
Like, if I said something 4 months ago I wanted and you show up with it, like, that was very thoughtful. And, you obviously, like, committed that to memory and, like...
Yeah, I buy you a lot of chocolate, too. I don't know why. Sometimes I feel like you need chocolate.
I have a stressful job, and it works. So.
But on Valentine's Day, like... I don't know why, but it was month 2, so there's just, like, a lot of stuff that happened anyway. But... I was, like, angry because I knew he didn't buy me I thought I knew he didn't buy me anything for Valentine's Day. And, like, I don't like to be that girl that, like, gets angry over those things. But for whatever reason that day, I was. And I, like, was going over to his house because we were supposed to go to dinner, I think. And I had thought about getting him something, and I didn't because I'm like, what's the point? Because he's not going to get me anything.
Because that's the point of gifts.
And then he's just... I was just in an angry state of mind, and looking back on it, I was so dumb. But I just, like, and I don't know why I was so angry. Like, I don't know if we'd had a conversation, like, beforehand that, like, I was still brewing on. I don't even know.
I remember why.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't. I guess it's not important. Either way. So, I get to his house.
We were just connected right there at that
Pretty
time.
much. We're so connected now, but...
Too connected.
But, we were sitting on the couch, and we were like, he knew I was mad, but I didn't want to tell him why I was mad, because, you know, walls. And so, eventually, I just, like, started saying, like, spilling my guts, I think, we started talking about it, I said something, and it ended up being this very intense conversation of just, like, what he was feeling, and then what I was feeling, and it was just a really, like, gut-wrenching, like...
And we're back. Okay. So,
talking about
Valentine's Day.
Yes. Okay.
We had to have that serious talk.
Yeah. So we were like having this serious talk, and we were both just kind of frustrated, and we're both stubborn, and we both still had some walls up, I think. Yeah. And it wasn't a good feeling, and it wasn't a great like atmosphere at that time. But I remember looking at him, because at that point I had opened up like part of myself to him, and I don't even remember what I said now, but like I remember like I'd opened up and I finally told him what was wrong instead of just keeping it in, and like he was telling me like his perspective and like different things. And I think for me on that day, it was just like I realized I can talk to this person, I can talk to this man, and like we can work things out. And
we're still on this question. I still got to answer this.
Yeah,
sorry.
you do.
Go ahead.
So as
this video is so long, I'm sorry.
So as we were like talking and like really getting everything out, it just like I remember looking at him and thinking, I want to marry this man, because there's not many people who can get me to open up and talk deeply about my feelings, and you definitely did that. And it was month 2, and it was rough, and that was an awful day, but at the end of it, we're just like, okay, we're done. And he ended up
the very end of our month 2.
Yeah.
So that was like the coming up of our month 2.
So I think like we had just had so many like weird discussions anyway, that like at that point I was just like, I know that I can trust him, and I know that I can open up to him, and he's not going to just like take my bullcrap answers, and we're actually going to like dig in deep to this, and like that's something that's worth a lot. And so I remember thinking like, no, this is the man that I want to marry, because like that's what I want in a relationship. Like I want it to be deep. I don't want it to be like surfacey and like awkward, and like I feel like I have to hide everything. So
I feel like we're being really vulnerable and open in this video.
We are.
Which is so like on top of that, I'll just add, let's make this like a counseling session. No, like those things are not comfortable, and they still happen from time to time. Like we've had like disagreements. Like the most recent one I can think about is church. Not really disagreement, but like just like a longing to understand.
Yeah.
And like we weren't on the same page at the time, and we were both frustrated and upset. And like I think there's a time like you just need to like, kind of like cool off. But there's also a time you need to pursue and talk about it. Like how can we address this? And like so like even though it's not fun and it's not comfortable, we're still good at doing that. Like, okay, yes, we're frustrated, but like let's think logically. Let's get through to. And once again, always back to God. Like, well, let's pray about it. Let's actually like seek out God's advice on it and seek counsel of others. And
we never leave each other angry and like without talking. And that's the thing. Like I knew it was different with him, because there was times that I didn't know what to say, and I felt uncomfortable, and I would just be like, I feel like I need to leave, but I can't. And like I remember saying that a couple different times, and you're like, well, why do you feel that way? And so then like that led into conversation, and I don't think ever once we just kind of like left with like just not opening up.
Because even if we didn't have answers, we still like, okay, well, this isn't the end. We're still going to pray about this and talk about this, and like we're going to come to an understanding eventually.
Yeah.
It's like we might not have left with peace, but we didn't leave with anger.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a big thing. Like that's so important in a relationship, that you don't leave angry.
Yeah. And
you don't leave like, because how I like shut everything up. And like I don't want to talk. If I just leave without telling him what's wrong with me, like then I'm going to continue to bottle that up, but he doesn't let me do that. And I've learned like I can't do that. So we just don't leave angry. We like talk about our stuff. Yeah. So that was my moment. He did get me a Valentine's Day gift, and it was awesome. A Nickelodeon heart.
After she ripped my head off for a solid 20 minutes, I was like, wait right there.
I felt like the biggest jerk in the world. In the world. It was that was the night that I knew I wanted to marry him, but that was also the night that I felt like a big jerk. And we did go get Chinese, and like
it's funny now.
The night ended fine. Like it was great. But
so
like,
I made you that punny card too.
You did, and I still have it. And when I read those verses in the Bible, I want to cry because I think
Anyway, now I gotta answer this. Mine's gonna be long too. Guys, I apologize for length of this video.
If you've watched the whole thing, like you guys love us.
You love us so much.
And we love you.
I think I didn't expect it to get deep.
I didn't either.
People, you asked the wrong questions. No. So mine's more complex, I think, than hers, because like, I've always longed for marriage and, like, an intimate relationship and, like, a family. But, like, I'm gonna be completely open. I was subjected to a lot of mental and verbal abuse as a kid. And even, a kid, a teenager, early adulthood. That really made me believe that I was not valuable enough for that. I talked slow to not cry. But, so my walls, like, I'm okay sometimes at putting on this, like, confident exterior, like, that I know what I'm doing. And granted, throughout the years I've gained a lot more confidence and self-esteem. But, like, so for me it was more of a mental thing. Like, I might want marriage, but I don't think I'm good enough for marriage, so therefore I'm not even going to think about it, because if I think about it, I'll be disappointed, so just don't think about it. Self-sabotaging. That was part of our problem in month 2, is I was starting to shut down because I was getting close, and I didn't want to get close, because then, in my mind, if you get close, you get hurt. So, like, I was starting to distance myself, not text, and not call. Even though, like, and that's the weird thing, like, even though I desired that, and that's what I was getting, it was scary, so, like, I, like, almost like a turtle back in its shell, like, protection, like, comfortable. Anyway, so for me, it was really overcoming those barriers, which I still struggle with from time to time with certain things, like, my singing is a big one, that, like, I was told I wasn't good, so, like, I believed I wasn't, and anyway, so, month 2, like, honestly, like, I think we both questioned, like, is this even worth it? Like, this is miserable, we're both not having fun, like, why, like, what's the point? But I think, for me, like, a big part of my faith is examining past experiences. So, like, what has gone on in the past? Let's think logically. So, like, in that case, like, well, our first day went so smoothly. We both have a heart for ministry and for foster care and adoption. Like, how could this not be right? And so then, we get through month 2, and it gets better. But then, like, I really had to question, like, because my self-value, I won't say it's, like, dirt low, but it's lower than it probably should be. Like, am I able to give someone what they deserve if I don't feel like I deserve what I'm getting? I think that made sense. Mm-hmm. So anyway, but I think, like, the desire for marriage was there. The desire for family and unity and all that was there. So I think, like, early on, it's what I craved, but I didn't really, like, I didn't feel like it was possible, probably until Tennessee. Being together for, like, those, 5 days? 4 days? I think 5.
Like 5.
So being together those 5 days, and, like, because, like, up until that point, like I said, like, we'd spend time with each other, but, like, not wake up and see each other, go to bed seeing each other. Separate rooms.
Yes.
Separate rooms. We're still very Christian.
No.
Even here, we're in completely separate rooms. But no, like, and then, like, so then, like, that's when I started, like, because Logan was like, just get married now, just do it now, just go and get over with, get the ring, and I'm like, so then, like, that made me have to question it, like, okay, like, what if I were to do that, like, am I ready for that, and, like, honestly, the peace I got from the Holy Spirit was, like, what was, like, okay, because, like, everything else, like, that had worked out so favorably, like, just, like, confirmed, like, that, like, yes, this will work out. And also, like, so I have this really bad problem of I cannot know you from Adam, but I'm going to assume that you hate me, because that's my low self-esteem. But, like, just, like, how, like, welcoming, like, her family's been, and supportive of everything, and her friends, like, that was, like, that gave me the confidence that I needed to be able to even process the thought of marriage, if that makes sense. So, yeah. So, Tennessee was like the selling, like, yes, but, like, before that was always, like, my desire, but, like, it wasn't until that moment that I thought, like, okay, this can work.
I think even for me, like, I had that initial moment on Valentine's Day, and then, like, there's been multiple times since then that it's, like, been, like, things have gotten rough, and I'm like, I don't know, this isn't seeming to line up, and he's even, like, reassured me, like, different times, like, well, Emily, you're not thinking, like, I'm a what-ifs person, and so that was just, like, scary to think of, like, the future,
Yeah.
And, like, well, what if, like, we make the wrong decisions, or what if, like, this all falls apart, or what if this and what if that, and so, like, I definitely had a big, like, this is the man I want to marry moment and Valentine's Day. And then, like, leading up, there was just a lot of freak out moments. Like, oh my goodness, what if this is real? Or what if this is a mistake?
Tennessee was a freak out moment.
Tennessee was a big freak out moment.
I shared with her that Logan wanted us
Why are you sharing this?
to get engaged. Hey, we're being open, we're being vulnerable, we're putting it all out there. After a 40-minute video, I feel like if they were watching this long, they deserve this story. So I told her, I was like, Logan's like wanting me to like ask you like now. And I could see the fear set in her eyes. Try not to personalize it. I'm sure I did to an extent. So we're in, what's it? Pigeon Forge. No, Gatlinburg. We were in Gatlinburg. We were just walking. And what did you even say?
I don't want to say what I said. It was dumb. Basically, I'm not going to say what I said, but basically I just like was afraid that like our Christian beliefs didn't line up fully enough to like be okay. I don't know. I was just like, what if this is a big mistake? And like, I don't know. What if he does? Like, I seriously, in my mind, like, I was panicking. Like, full panic. Because I'm like, what if he asks me? And like, I say yes, and then we're not ready, and we haven't, like, we've missed stuff. Like, we haven't talked about enough stuff. And it was bad. But we're still here, so it's fine. It wasn't, like, bad enough to, like, ruin anything. But
if you're still watching this, I'm assuming you're someone who's very close to us. And if not, I feel like if you're bored or lonely, reach out and talk to us. No.
We're great people. You obviously find our lives enjoyable.
A little kooky sometimes. But no, you've been watching this for probably about almost 42 minutes at this point. If you're still watching, kudos to you, because I'm not sure I'd watch it this long. We're pretty entertaining though. Maybe
I think so.
I'd probably watch someone like us.
Probably
psychoanalyze them the whole time too, but that's okay. You can psychoanalyze me. I know my problems. Okay, we need to wrap this up. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, it's been fun. Glad you've been here with us.
If you have more questions,
feel free to contact us at...
Put them in the comments.
Oh, yeah,
if we get enough, we can answer them. Or if I get like one, I can just type you a response.
Yeah.
Unless you want this really drawn out response that we do right here. And I'll do that for you.
Could do like a personalized video specifically to answer your question.
Hi, John. Thank you for asking this question. If there's a John watching, I know I feel so awkward.
I don't know any Johns that would sit and watch our...
I don't either. That's the point.
Maybe we'll find
It's a
one.
bored and desperate John.
So,
okay,
John,
I'm sorry if your name's John.
You're not bored and desperate. You just find this entertaining.
From an outside looking in, I would too.
Probably.
We're very complex.
Man, the more I talk to people and have to explain our lives, the crazier it sounds.
We just got engaged. We've only been dating 10 months.
By the way, we have two 13-year-olds.
That we're adopting.
Adopting next week. My mom hosts a foreign exchange student. That's always one I like to throw in there too. It just like keeps adding up.
We're basically angels.
Pretty much.
Just kidding. I think you've learned through this video that we're not.
I don't have wings yet.
Now everyone in this neighborhood knows our life story. You're welcome. What if there's like someone out on their porch listening to us the whole time?
That would be hilarious.
Subscribe. Billy Joe McCann YouTube. And Instagram. And Twitter.
What if we ever became famous for this? We'd be like Chip and Joanna Gaines, but like not remodeling houses.
We take kids and fix. Okay, I shouldn't say that. Bye.